It's a fight fought on water. 18,000 fishermen from countries including France, Germany, Ireland and Spain want to continue fishing in British waters even after the UK leaves the European Union. According to the EU, if the UK leaves without a trade deal, UK fish exports will be subject to a 30% tariff. But for the 92% of UK fishermen who voted to leave the EU, all they want is for Brussels to stop meddling in their affairs.
It's every bloody thing, really.
Yeah.
You know, you're not in control of your own country, are you? You know, yeah, the quotas are bad. You know, for the British.
Before joining the EU, the British fishing industry employed about 50,000 fishermen. Today, industry NGOs say the number of active fishermen has dropped below 12,000. When Britain joined the common market in 1973, it lost control of its own fishing grounds, which forced the UK to buy its own fish from Europe.
When you're in the fishing industry, it's very, very apparent, especially when you go to Brussels, just how much that dream has been corrupted, if you like, by a system that really doesn't care.
And it's not the first time British fishermen have felt unfairly treated by their European neighbours. The UK and Iceland had tangled 3 times between 1958 and 1975 over cod fishing rights in the North Atlantic Ocean. Each of those cod wars ended in Iceland's favour. This time, Britain is in a far stronger position. And with Theresa May cooking up a great British Brexit, UK fishermen are hoping this time it'll be their fish served up on a plate. Adefemi Akinsanya, TRT World.
Let's get more on this now. Joining me from Amsterdam live is Gerard van Balsfoort. He's the chairman of the European Fisheries Alliance. Gerard, thank you very much for joining us on Money Talks. Exactly how damaging would it be for European fisheries and fishermen and their communities if the Brexit leaves, if the UK leaves the European Union without a deal on fisheries?
Yeah, good evening. If really it would be a very hard Brexit, which means that the remaining countries and fishermen in these countries could not have access anymore to the UK fishing grounds, then UK fishing grounds. In the end, on the fleets and the directly involved companies to the fleets in these 9 member states will be around 6,000 jobs. But of course, these fleets are really in the peripheral regions of these member states. So the effect of losing access to the fishing grounds in the UK will be devastating for these villages and regions really dependent upon fisheries in these 9 countries.
Let me quote you, though, something that Alain Cadec, the chair of the EU's Fisheries Committee, said. He says it is out of the question to allow British fish to enter the EU without tariffs being imposed if the UK doesn't allow European vessels access into British waters. Do you agree with that position?
Well, yes, basically we do. What we see, there's a very strong interdependence upon all the fishing fleets in the North East Atlantic, in the North Sea and the Irish Sea and the Channel, because the UK is so close to the continent. And if you really look what we are doing, we have 100 fish stocks sharing. We share them together. So fishermen in the UK and the fishermen in France, Germany, Spain, etc.
I understand that position. Can I just jump in for a second? Can I just jump in for a second there? If you do insist on holding that position, aren't you then setting yourself up for a really massive fight with the people in the UK who want to leave without any deal?
Well, the people in the UK who are going to negotiate are not the fishermen, of course, are the politicians, as do the politicians in the EU, like Monsieur Cadec, not himself, but politicians, not the sectors. What we do and what we know is that we have a high level of interdependence. We have independence to get access. 1/3 of our catches is coming from the UK waters, but 2/3 of the exports of the UK seafood
I'm afraid we're running out of time. Thank you very much for your time, Gerard van Balsfoort from the European Fisheries Alliance.